to the video on graphing. Graphing is a very important concept in mathematics. You learn about some of it in pre-algebra, in Algebra 1, in Algebra 2, in Geometry, in pre-calc, and in Calculus. So that tells you that it's very important. The important thing to learn about mathematics is you might be able to learn certain subjects where you skip over a chapter, master one, and then skip over another one. But in mathematics, you have to seek to master it all. You have to master each concept, because it's like a building. It has a foundation and it has different stories, but it really depends on mastery. You have to master. So do your best and say, I am going to do my best to master. If I have to watch more videos, if I have to read more books, if I have to have more conversations with people, I will do what it takes to be a good student. And take that into everything else you do. But I just want to encourage you in math, you really, if you want to succeed, you can take a shortcut. And I know that Euclid, or this Ptolemy was talking to, or one of the other, or Euclid was talking to Ptolemy, and there's famous stories about people who, and I think Euclid said there is no glorious road to geometry, something to that effect, or Ptolemy, I know one or the other. But it's an interesting, just understanding that hard work is what we need. We don't need to try finding shortcuts. Let's do our best, okay? And so if you're graphing, like if I ask you to graph 12x plus 4y is equal to 8, the first rule is, especially if you're going to use this technique, is try to set it up so that y is by itself, and then you have mx plus b. That's called the slope-intercept form, okay? And the slope-intercept form is basically saying, so m stands for slope, and b stands for the y-intercept. So from the equation of a line, you can find the slope and the y-intercept. But the only way you can do that is, first of all, solve for y. So remember, if you don't know how to solve equations, go back to that before you seek to master graphing. So 12x plus 4y is equal to 8. So first, I need to subtract 12x from both sides. So I subtract 12x from both sides. So now I have 4y is equal to 8 minus 12x. Then we're going to divide everything by 4. That's because we're trying to solve for y. So y is equal to 2 minus 3x, okay? Now, according to the commutative property of addition in mathematics, I can switch the order of these, as long as I keep my signs. I have negative 3x plus 2. So y is equal to negative 3x plus 2. If I write it right here, notice that my m is negative 3 and my b is positive 2, or it's 2, okay? So you have negative 3 for my slope and 2 for my y-intercept. So I go to 2, I put a mark there, and since this is negative 3x, that means I move down 3 units, 1, 2, 3, before I move over 1 unit, okay? Because it's actually negative 3 over 1. So for every 3 units I move down, I move 1 over. So I move down, 1, 2, 3, I move over 1. I move down again, 1, 2, 3, and I move over 1. Move down 1, 2, 3, and so on. But then if I move up 1, 2, 3, I move to the left. I move 1, 2, 3, and I move to the left, okay? So then you connect the dots, okay? And if you use graphing paper and a ruler, it should be a straight line. And this line, notice it's going down because the slope is negative, okay? If it was a positive 3x, then it was plus 2, we should see something like that, okay? So, it's very important to know how to graph. The steps are pretty straightforward. Step 1, make sure you have it in y is equal to mx plus b format. Step 2, find the y-intercept. Okay, so find y-intercept. Step 3, use slope to plot points. Okay, so use slope to plot points, and then step 4, connect points. Okay. And use a ruler, okay? I don't have a big ruler I can use here on the board. So make sure you use a ruler. Step 1, y is equal to mx plus b. Step 2, find y-intercept, right? Step 3, use the slope to plot the next set of points. Step 4, connect the points, and you have the equation of a line. You are allowed to use a table of values if you want. In this case, you just pick a number like negative 2, and you plug it in for x, and then you basically find what that will be. So that's 6 plus 2, so you have 8. And you can use that to do your problems. You can use that option of plotting values. These are called domain input values, and you have output values based on what the function is. Okay? So there's more that can be said about graphing, but I just wanted to introduce you to graphing typical lines, and these principles, we'll talk more about graphing.